Thank the gentleman. I now would like to recognize the gentleman from Florida, Mr. Bilirakis.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I appreciate it so very much. And welcome, Mr. Secretary. Appreciate it. I want to talk about Medicare Part D. When Congress created Medicare Part D, it did so with the belief that private sector organizations, which are already administering employer-sponsored drug benefits, could be used to administer a Medicare drug benefit. We now have Medicare Part D, where drug plans compete against each other to provide the lowest price to beneficiaries. It's probably the only federal program that consistently comes in under budget with premiums that have remained largely unchanged. And I know this has been going on for years. It's a very successful program. In my district, excuse me, in my district, we have 191,000 seniors, and about 80% of them are on either Medicare Part D or they participate in a Medicare Advantage program with a drug benefit. Some people have talked about changing Part D and having the government negotiate drug prices. Do you think the government can negotiate a better deal than what the plans have been able to negotiate over the past 15 years? Again, we want what's best for our constituents. We want low drug prices, and I know you do too, and the president as well. So that's the question. Again, do you think the government can negotiate a better deal than what the plans have been able to negotiate over the past 15 years?
I do not believe that we could do a better job negotiating than these pharmacy benefit managers do, absent creating a highly restrictive, uniform formulary for every senior citizen in America. And that's what Peter Orszag, the head of the Congressional Budget Office and President Obama's OMB director, concluded also. These PBMs have significant market power. They negotiate discounts where we let them that are comparable to European OECD levels of discounting, is my understanding and experience. But we would have to create a single formulary. We would have to say to every senior, you may have this drug, but you may not have this drug. I mean, we've heard the bipartisan concern even today on step therapy and utilization management within protected classes. Imagine the outcry if we were to say to all seniors, you may have, and I'll just pick a drug, you may have Humira, you may not have Enbrel. That's the only way I could get better savings than the PBMs are able to negotiate. And I think a lot of the concerns would be here. I'm not sure a lot of folks who ask us for that negotiation understand the implications from a beneficiary choice and access perspective. I'm happy to have that discussion with both sides of the aisle on this, because we want to solve the drug pricing crisis. We want to solve that, but we want to solve it in the right way, with patients at the center.
Thank you very much, Mr. Secretary. Again, yeah, you're right. I mean, your heart's in the right place. The president's heart is in the right place. Everyone. We want lower drug prices, but again, we also, choice and accessibility are so very important for our seniors. I assume that you've reviewed the Medicare for All proposal.
I have seen and heard about different iterations of it, sir.
Yeah. So how would the Medicare for All proposal affect the successful Medicare Part D program, in your opinion?
It would take it away, because Medicare Part D is a private plan administered program with private insurance, is my understanding, at least of some of the versions of that.
Yeah, and you know, in my opinion, it's not perfect, and we're going to close the donut hole. But it's been a very successful program. I hear from my seniors all the time. How would Medicare Advantage, Medicare Advantage is very popular in my district. 53% of our seniors are on Medicare Advantage. They really love the program. How would Medicare for All affect the Medicare Advantage program?
I believe Medicare for All, under at least some versions of the Medicare for All program, that Medicare Advantage would disappear because it is a private insurance program administered by the government, but I believe it would go away and all would go on to a Medicare fee-for-service, the old-style 1960s Medicare that people are increasingly not choosing because they want the more private sector, flexible, choiceful benefit package of Medicare Advantage.
Well, thank you very much. It'd be a real shame if we lost that. Take
think
care.
so.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I yield back.
To thank the gentleman, I now would like to recognize the gentleman from Oregon, a wonderful member of this committee, Mr. Schroeder.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, Madam. Thank you for being here today, Mr. Secretary. Appreciate it very much. Not particularly a big fan of